Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Forbidden Land podcast. This week, no games. I have zero games. I know last week I was doing the whole where are my keybinds? Oh, I was doing the whole oh, look, I have two cameras now. Oh, whoop-de-doo. You know, big fucking games here. We got three cameras now. Oh, man. I'm not here to play around. We've got four fucking cameras now. And if you've ever wondered what all four of them look like at the same time, here's what it looks like. I'm not gonna lie. I'm kind of fucking with this camera. Can I be so real? I'm fucking with it. Big K Cola. I gotta say, this is better than Coke Zero. This shit right here. This shit right here. It tastes better than Coke, which is good because Coke is on the BDS list. And you might say like, oh yeah, that's a good reason to stop drinking Coke. It's on the BDS list. I not only have that reason, I have another reason for not drinking Coke. And it's that they have committed an irreparable crime. That crime being the Peace Tea slaughter. If you've ever drank a Peace Tea, it's like this tall ass can, the size of an Arizona. Because they're competing with Arizona. At least you would think. They changed the recipe. They took cane sugar out. And so that was the first sin, is that they replaced it with high fructose corn syrup, meaning it's worse for you now. It's also now the size of a Monster. It's this little teeny tiny can now. And it still costs the same price, I'm pretty sure. I'm so upset. I don't understand why they would make this change. I haven't even looked up why either. It just doesn't make any sense. But I'm done drinking it. Yeah, I'm completely done drinking it. It's just so garbage. Dang, the old one had sucralose? That's kind of crazy. Oh yeah, whatever happened to the alcohol version of Peace Tea? Are those still the same? I wonder if those are still the same. Here we go. Here's a TikTok about it.
You guys, they changed Peace Tea. You have to, okay, look at this. Regular Peace Tea can, new Peace Tea can. Ingredients: tea, cane sugar, natural flavors. Ingredients: high fructose corn syrup, then all of this crazy shit.
And look at the sizes of the cans. Yeah, look at that. Oh, that's Gore of My Comfort character. Wow. Yeah, looks like your tea is now a soda. I don't get it. I don't get the reason behind this. Sorry, my dock just got absolutely blown up on the screen. I just don't get why this is a change that they've made. But yeah, so I am sticking to Big K. In other cool news, I've been working out. How cool is that? I also apparently have a huge bruise on my arm. That's also pretty neat. Ooh, ooh, that's tender. Oh my god. What'd I do? That's tender, dude. I'm showing the camera like you guys can even tell. Um. All right, let's get to the doc. So stupid. Um. Big news for my coworker. The Liberal Party just replaced Justin Trudeau with someone named Mark Carney. Now, this is in Canada. I don't know who this guy is. From all I've heard is that he is a huge hothead. And he's a former Goldman Sachs banker. I don't really know much about him. He was criticized by pro-Brexit politicians after he warned that leaving the EU without a deal could decimate the British economy. One member of parliament called Carney a second-tier Canadian politician who failed to get on in Canadian politics and got a job in the UK. Wow. A little harsh. He will have to lead his party until the federal election in October. Ew. You know what else I'm drinking right now? Sorry, this is how much I give a fuck about Canadian news, is that I'm willing to interrupt the biggest story Canada's had in 10 years by talking about this next drink I'm about to start sipping on. I've got Fanta in my system. Fanta in my system. I've got this Core Power. Who owns you, little buddy? Fairlife. Duh. He is mouthy. I don't know. What's interesting about this guy? Led 2 central banks at pivotal moments. Boring. Bank of Canada's deputy governor. Governor in 2008 at the start of the financial crisis. He was then the first non-British governor of the Bank of England. Ooh, wow. Wow, it took a Canadian to save you guys from... to save you guys in the Bank of England. Since leaving the Bank of England, he has held a mix of commercial and international roles. Board member of Stripe? Oh my god. This guy's just a corrupt businessman, it seems. The UN Special Envoy on Climate Action and Finance. He said he resigned from all his commercial and international roles. I doubt it. So hold on a minute. Is this guy even... Do you have to be a member of parliament to be the prime minister? That's what I thought. Is he a member of parliament? He would have to be, right? He was born in the Northwest Territories. Bro's not even from the main part of Canada. That's crazy. Also, anybody else like skinning their Fairlife? He... said in response to the tariff threat. He spoke as he was facing off against the US president in the next election rather than his expected opponent, Pierre Poilievre. Oh yeah, that guy, Pierre. What about the cost of housing? That guy. The fact that as an American, even I know who this guy is, pretty insane. Anybody else shake their milk like that? Sorry. He said the usual about tariffs. Yeah, this guy boring, but I can see him swinging the polls back around for the Liberal Party. The Liberal Party's been uh like on the losing end of the aisle for a while now. It was said that if the Liberals called an election right now, they would probably lose. So probably lose to the Conservatives. Pierre Poilievre. French little fuck. But yeah, apparently that's the situation in Canada. Let's see. Quick speed run before I get to the big thing. And then I talk about some cool stuff. This isn't going to be a very long episode. Gavin Newsom said transgender women playing in women's sports is unfair and he opposes it. Gavin Newsom. Gavin Newsom is a fucking charlatan, obviously. Never been a huge fan of Gavin Newsom. Department of Homeland Security is performing lie detector tests to find leakers in the government. That's a little horrifying. And the last one is that Trump refused to rule out that the country could drop into a recession. Only the lightest of news. I mean, just what a crazy thing to say. Oh, and then he was also ordered to reinstate all of the officials that he fired, all the probationary workers. Trump just asked the Supreme Court to intervene in birthright citizenship cases. Oh, that's literally breaking news. What the okay, guys. How is it not obvious right now what he's doing? Yeah, he issued his executive order about birthright citizenship. It got immediately slapped down. 4 district judges from Maryland, Massachusetts, New Hampshire, and Washington issued orders blocking the enforcement of the president's attempt to end birthright citizenship. Yeah. That's crazy. It's like I said. The Trump administration has been trying to get the appeals courts to restrict the scope of 3 of those decisions to apply only to the 22 states. Oh. What? He requested to the Supreme Court that it should clear the way for the president's birthright citizenship order to partially take effect. Harris, who represents the federal government before the court, largely criticized the scope of the relief, which extends nationwide, and warned that these injunctions harm the executive branch's ability to carry out its functions. I would like to know what the Trump administration thinks the function of the executive branch is. I mean, I know what doctrine they're running off of. They're running off of the executive power doctrine, where all power should be consolidated to the executive branch. But this is just such a blatant attempt to coup the government and seize power. Their lawyer argued that the district courts have issued more universal injunctions during February 2025 alone than the first 3 years of the Biden administration. That's what they're alleging. They said that sharp rise in universal injunctions stops the executive branch from performing its constitutional functions before any courts fully examine the merits of those actions, and threatens to swamp this court's emergency docket. What? hey guys, so the last administration committed occasional constitutional violations, while the new administration has been committing constitutional violations left, right, and center. That is why the court has stepped in as much as it can, as much as it could, as much as it did. I mean, and even then, like, I know what their goal is here. Their goal is to swamp the court as much as possible, so it's damn near impossible to keep up. I mean, that's the goal here. Mess up as much stuff as you can, like defunding USAID and firing all those federal employees, and trying to end birthright citizenship and starting mass deportations. That alone has done enough damage where if all of that was stopped by a court tomorrow, the damage has already been done. And so that's the goal. The goal is that he's going to do as much as he can, and then hoping that it takes the court too long to rule on it. Thus, whatever he did effectively worked out in some way, shape, or form. So, this milk is so good. Let's see. I mean, yeah, and also the thing about birthright citizenship to take effect. I mean, that's so stupid. He noted that the decisions arising out of challenges to Mr. Trump's birthright citizenship order cover all 50 states and millions of... Whoa! She noted that the decisions arising out of the challenges to Mr. Trump's birthright citizenship order cover all 50 states and, quote, millions of aliens across the country, end quote. Crazy, dude. That's insane. The court, she said, the acting solicitor general wrote, this court should declare that enough is enough before district courts' burgeoning reliance on universal injunctions becomes further entrenched. Oh my gosh. Dude, they're straight up arguing that the judicial branch of the government is hindering their ability to bypass the Constitution and commit insanely unlawful acts. That is what they're arguing right now. The district courts, okay, blah, 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 blah. The prospect of American citizenship for the unlawful migrants' children and of derivative immigration benefits for the migrants themselves. What benefit is there to being here illegally? Seriously, you have to like hide everywhere you go, like from federal authorities. You can't be paid legally. You have to be paid under the table. It leads you open to exploitation. Raising a child here when you're not documented is like insane. I know the concept of anchor babies, but you know how you can get rid of the idea of anchor babies? Instead of getting rid of birthright citizenship, crazy idea, make the path to citizenship more efficient and easier to accomplish. Make it faster. People that want to work, they can get in here very easily and go to work without all the hoops and hurdles and the years of time that it takes. You know why they don't do that? The Republicans, by the way, it's because they're racist. They'll just start spouting off about the Great Replacement Theory or something. Let's see. Several members of the Supreme Court have expressed concern about the soundness of these broad orders, which bar the government from enforcing the policy at issue against anyone, anywhere in the country. In a 2018 concurring opinion in a case involving Trump's travel ban, issued during his first term. Clarence Thomas noted the district courts in Hawaii and Maryland entered preliminary injunctions that barred the Trump administration from enforcing the policy and said he was skeptical they have the authority to do so. If their popularity continues, this court must address their legality. Whoa. They're gonna dismantle the entire district court system. Oh my god, this country's legal system is going to just collapse. I watch a lot of the civil rights lawyer. I don't remember what his name is. I think that's his name, the civil rights lawyer or something. He's this guy from West Virginia. He's a lawyer in West Virginia, and he covers a lot of civil rights cases, and he cites the district courts a lot. And I wonder how many hoops and hurdles he'll have to jump through now, where some sheriff can just be like, oh, well, that's what the district court said, but like, let's hear what the Supreme Court has to say. And there's a real chance the Supreme Court could hear it out, because possibly the district courts have had their power completely stripped away. Now, of course, I'm just speculating. But yeah. I mean, I've had people like come up to me at work and whatnot and legitimately ask me if I'm worried, or ask me my thoughts on the entire situation. And I don't know anymore. I was telling people that I would say that I'll be worried a year from now. I think that's how long it'll take for his administration to just completely fuck everything up. But at the same time, I'm also worried a little bit now at how fast things are moving. Last time around, it was like one thing a month. And this time around, it's like one thing a day. You know? It's like, I mean, it's like I said, I don't know what to expect. Hope you're enjoying the episode. If you want to support us, you can go over to patreon.com/forbiddenlandpod. You can subscribe for $10 a month to get bonus content. Or you can subscribe for $1 or $3 a month if you just want to support us. There's also higher tiers if you want to support us even more, even harder. But you don't have to. So head on over to patreon.com/forbiddenlandpod. And for $10 a month, you can get the bonus episodes and even bonus content like the outtakes for this little segment. So thanks for supporting us, and thanks for listening. Sorry, I'm like so brain dead right now. The thing that I researched for this episode. So last episode, I watched the Democratic response to the State of the Union. And I know it wasn't the State of the Union. I'm not stupid. I watched the Democratic response. And the response was
mic on. Mic off.
Sorry, I just wanted to hear that. The response was pretty lackluster, but I was really intrigued by the person that they chose. Senator Alyssa Slotkin, a new senator from Michigan, who I have found out is a former representative in the House, but wasn't the rep for very long. Seems to have only been the rep for the tail end of the Trump administration and the entirety of the Biden administration. So like she said in the response, she was recruited to the CIA, served 3 tours in Iraq. Now, that wasn't the only stuff that she did. She also worked for Obama as a member of the Department of Defense and the State Department for a couple years. left, lived with her family, then ran for the House in 2018, won, was sworn in 2019, and served in the House until 2024 when she was elected to the Senate, and is now a current sitting senator. And I wrote down everything that she is listed as doing that I think is good and I think is bad. Now, I already mentioned that she served in the CIA, 3 tours in Iraq. So keep this in mind. She is a war hawk. And this will inform a lot of the decisions that she will be making throughout her political career. In the House and some in the Senate. Talk about some of the good stuff that she's done. Let me finish this. Hold on. You know, we have a Ninja Creamy. We make ice cream out of these. It's so good. Liquid number 3 to appear on this episode. So, she voted to impeach Trump both times. As you remember, the first impeachment was about the quid pro quo with Ukraine, where Trump wanted to find out if there was any dirt on the Bidens based on their, ties to Burisma and all that stuff, and that's where the Hunter laptop comes from, and we're smoking crack, all that stuff. She also then voted on the second impeachment, which was the impeaching Trump for inciting an insurrection at the Capitol. Let's see. She's pro-choice. She supports federal legislation to codify abortion rights. Pretty good. She co-sponsored the Ban Corporate PACs Act, which pretty good actually. It would prevent corporations from operating a PAC, which I would say is pretty good. She sponsored the Iran War Powers Resolution, which limited Trump's ability to go to full-out war with Iran without a congressional declaration of war. If you'll remember, in 2020, at the very beginning of 2020, by the way, this is pre-pandemic, COVID was known of, but not really in the United States yet. Trump ordered a strike on the Iranian top general, pretty much, Soleimani, and he killed the general. And people were like on the edge of their seat thinking that Trump was gonna pretty much start a full-on nuclear war with Iran, a country that we had just ended the Iran nuclear deal with. And could have possibly had nuclear bombs or nuclear warheads. How awesome is that? She supports the Affordable Care Act. Crazy. I don't think I need to explain what Obamacare is. She supports gun control initiatives. Pretty good. I do enjoy those. She supported the CARES Act, the HEROES Act. Those are both COVID stimulus packages. She supported the Build Back Better Act and the Inflation Reduction Act. The Build Back Better Act was, wow, that's a mouthful, is supposed to ensure that American families' cost of living doesn't go up any higher than it already has. Good job, Biden. You did it. My eggs were double the price when you left office, and so I don't know how well that act worked, and it's still not working because now my eggs are triple the price. Thank you, President Trump. The Inflation Reduction Act that like slowed down inflation and then eventually stopped it. But people don't realize that. Sorry. People don't realize, sorry, that Coke is already coming up. Realize that inflation doesn't really reverse. Because people are greedy. Let's go over what I don't like about her political career. She supports the death penalty. Now, of course, she has clarified that she supports the death penalty in rare cases. No, that defeats the whole point. That defeats the entire point. I am anti-death penalty no matter what. And that is because, you know, she goes, oh, those special cases where you just have to execute a serial killer. But see, I'm anti-death penalty for the people that are wrongly convicted and put on death row. And so if you have been wrongly convicted of a crime severe enough to end up on death row, and Alyssa Slotkin considers your crime severe enough, death penalty, even if you are wrongly convicted. Me being anti-death penalty ensures that anybody wrongfully convicted isn't executed by the state. And I do not care. I would rather an actual horrible criminal rot in jail. But also it gives wrongfully convicted people the opportunity to be to have their convictions overturned and to be vindicated. So there you go. That's why I'm against the death penalty. She supported a Republican amendment to ban the Department of Defense from displaying non-official flags. One of those flags being the Pride flag. This was a big controversial thing at the time. Her reasoning was that she didn't want them to display the Confederate flag. And I believe she was only like one of a handful of Democrats to vote in support of this amendment. It's just one of those things where like she'll occasionally vote for stuff where you're like, oh, that's weird. And then she gives like the strangest reasoning. Hold on. Okay. This is what I mean by she's a war hawk. She is a self-described Zionist. This is part of her her life, by the way. I'm not editorializing when I say that she's a self-described Zionist. She has described herself as a Zionist. She condemned Rashida Tlaib for saying from the river to the sea. Now, if you're pro-Palestine, that immediately rings an alarm bell when someone says you shouldn't be saying from the river to the sea. She signed the letter that was expressing support for Israel. She then, she signed the letter criticizing South Africa's genocide case against Israel and called it grossly unfounded. And she, speaking of genocide, she is one of 5 Democrats in the House to vote against prohibiting support for the Saudi-backed genocide in Yemen. So she basically said, no, the Saudis can do that. She voted against Biden's removal of troops from Syria. This one's weird. This next one's weird. In 2020, she voted against a $10,000 debt relief for student loan borrowers, a initiative that 93% of the Democrats supported. Later, during the during the Biden administration. She voted twice against overturning Biden's debt relief for student loan borrowers. I looked at the wrong camera. I looked right at... Oops. I looked right at this one. You know, this one's the original podcast camera. Anyways, sorry. I don't want to get distracted. So yeah, that is our dear old friend Alyssa Slotkin. The Democrats picked a former CIA agent, Zionist, to give their official response. For the State of the Union. Note that this recent election, they lost for being someone like her. For being a moderate, we gotta unify the two sides of the aisle, style Zionist Democrat. Not good. I don't know. The Democrats, man. Why can't they just go back to doing that insane shit that they were doing during the first Trump era? Why can't they go back to, like, you know, wearing the wearing those outfits in the Capitol during the BLM movement? You know, going back to doing that. Why can't they do shit like that? We need Nancy Pelosi back. I know, I'm so sorry. We need Nancy Pelosi back. I can't take Hakeem Jeffries anymore. Bro is so useless. He won't do anything. Nancy, we need you back. We need you back in the House, making your snarky remarks, ripping up the speech behind Donald Trump during the State of the Union. We need you back in the speaker role. Please. No one knows who Hakeem Jeffries is. Everyone knows who Nancy Pelosi is. Come back to us. Also, where is AOC in all of this? Like, where is she? She didn't sign a bill, or not a bill. She didn't sign a petition. I don't even know what to call it. This letter recently, because it had to do with Palestinians, and AOC is trying to gain that democratic leadership role. And so she just hasn't been around for any of this stuff. Like, she hasn't done anything. Anyways, last thing of the episode, and then I go bye-bye. I go night-night. I want to show this edit that I watched.
Tonight's the night. Tonight's the night.
Did it not autoplay when I do that? I have been watching Dexter. I finished the original show. Since last episode. I finished Dexter. Started New Blood. Finished New Blood. I am on episode 8. Just finished episode 8 of Original Sin. I have 2 episodes of Original Sin left. No, not by the time this comes out will I be done. I don't think so. By this time next episode, I will be for sure done with Dexter. I really liked the original show, season 1 through 4. peak. Season 5 and 6, pretty good. Season 7, fine. Season 8, it was a little convoluted, but it's whatever. The New Blood show, really liked that. I actually have a lot to say about that one. New Blood felt like I was reading the books. It felt like a new interpretation of Dexter. Like, it's clearly a continuation of the character from the Showtime show. But there's just subtle differences about him that make you go, huh. Like, this feels like a different Dexter. But it's not a different Dexter. Like, this Dexter is a little bit more normal and has more complex emotions, and he just feels like a better character. And I like how they're titled. New Blood being Dexter New Blood. The next season will be Dexter Resurrection. It's like the books. It's like they're titling them like books. So I'm appreciating that. And I hope they continue with the Deborah ghost thing. Like, the image of Deborah being like his good side. Like his little angel on his shoulder. I almost wish... Let me look this up. Is he still alive? James Remar. I mean, he's 71. I feel like they need to bring back the Dark Passenger. You know what I mean? I hope they bring back the Dark Passenger. So have Deborah be like the good person, and then on his shoulder, and then have Henry, or not Henry, Harry. Have Harry be the Dark Passenger, you know. When I say Henry, Harry. Okay, let's watch this edit. This is such a good edit.
Tonight's the night. I'm something new entirely. I'm Dexter. I'm coiled and ready to strike.
Love it. Absolutely love it. I absolutely love this edit. This guy has a whole Dexter account, which is pretty sick. You should check this guy out. Here's his TikTok. Anyways, what do I think about Original Sin so far? I actually kind of like it more than what I've been watching recently from Dexter. I like how charming it feels. And I like how it feels like the first couple seasons of Dexter. I also like, spoiler alert, in episode 8, the brief, like, appearance of a young Miguel Prado. I liked that. Miguel! They said that Stain would come out. I'm glad we saw a young Miguel Prado. Anyways, that's it. That's the episode. Thanks for watching. If you liked this, listen to the other episodes. You can find us on any podcast platform pretty much. You can also find us on Patreon, patreon.com/forbiddenlandpod, and subscribe with US dollars, perhaps. You get some bonus content. And yeah, oh, and go check out, oh my gosh, I almost forgot to mention it. A long time ago, I had a shirt for the old podcast, and it was this like interesting like little text design, and I was like, you know what, I really want to remake that, but with the Forbidden Land name scheme. So if you would like, you can buy a Forbidden Land t-shirt with this logo on it. How cool is, I don't know why the website's doing that. How cool is that? Yeah, you can buy this shirt. If you don't want a shirt, they have like some other types of shirts. I actually didn't know this. Yo, hold the phone. I didn't know they had all this. Active t-shirt. No way they have a gym shirt of it? Yo. Hey, hold on now. I actually didn't know this. They also have hoodies and hats. And other variants like this crew neck. I like crew necks, so I usually make sure all of my merch have crew necks. You can get all these variants of it. Obviously, I don't think you will, but I like having the option. There's also a magnet, which I actually do find this one kind of cool. And I might actually get this one for myself. It's kind of neat. Here's the hoodie. Yeah, there are other types. Oh my gosh, I never knew this. Yeah, I'm a little stupid, huh? Oh, is with the zip up, is it on the back? It is on the back. Okay, that's kind of cool. Neat. Here's the hat. I wanted to put it like kind of off to the side on the hat. Just thought that would be like a cool little design choice. You get a trucker hat. Oh my gosh, dude, stop. That looks kind of goofy on the trucker hat. I will not lie. That might change in the future. And here's the crew neck. A lightweight crew neck. Hey, this is cool. I didn't know this. I'd probably get this in green. Personally. But yeah, you should go and check out the merch. There's other Forbidden Land related merch as well. There's these. There's the Forbidden FM design, Forbidden Land ones. I like this one. I think this one's kind of cute. It's a nice little cute design. But yeah. If this is something that you're interested in, go check it out. It's tpublic.com/user/day91786. It's also linked on the website if you want to just go to the website. Also, I'm in incognito because I didn't want to log out. Go to the website. Yeah, here you go. You can go to danesmusiccollection.weebly.com and it'll be right up here under shop. You just click that and it takes you straight to TeePublic. Alright, thanks for tuning in. Thanks for checking us out. I'll be back next Friday. I don't see why I wouldn't be unless something else insane happens like it did last time I went on a big hiatus. Ay, ay, ay. Alright. Thanks for watching. And yeah. Peace.